Before we get started, let's talk a little bit about Panorama Consulting. We are a niche consulting firm that focuses exclusively on the ERP space. We provide 3 offerings to our clients. The first is ERP software evaluation and selection. Second is ERP implementation project management. And third is ERP organizational change management and benefits realization. We have depth in a number of targeted industries, including manufacturing, distribution, supply chain, and high-growth companies. And perhaps most importantly, we are vendor independent neutral. So the information we're going to discuss today is based on our technology agnostic view of the marketplace. We are not partners of Oracle or any of their competitors for that matter, or with any ERP software vendors. We've also worked with over 100 different ERP software solutions, including Oracle. But also we've worked with SAP, a number of Tier 2 solutions. And again, this is not a comprehensive or all-inclusive list, but hopefully gives you a flavor of some of the different ERP solutions that we've helped our clients select and implement. Now, the study we're going to review today is based on a study that we completed in 2009. It was a 3-year study of 1,300 organizations across the globe. It was based on quantitative data that we collected via surveys, but we also gathered qualitative data via focus groups. And we covered organizations of all different sizes, ranging from small startups all the way on up to multinational organizations. And we also looked at companies that had recently implemented a number of different types of ERP solutions, ranging from Tier 1 solutions like Oracle and SAP, all the way down to Tier 2 solutions and best-of-breed and niche enterprise software providers as well. Now, if we look at market share, this is an estimate based on the sampling or based on the participants in our study, and this is very consistent with what you'll see from other industry analysts in the marketplace, and that is that Oracle is a fairly close second in market share to SAP at about 28%. So in other words, 28% of the participants in our study were implementers of Oracle EBS. Now, one thing we found, or 3 things we found actually with Oracle EBS and other ERP solutions as well, for that matter, is that most implementations take longer than expected, cost more than expected, and fail to deliver at least half of the business benefits that were expected. So again, this isn't unique to Oracle, but these are challenges. These metrics are actually based on the entire ERP study and found that there are some significant challenges that implementers of ERP need to overcome. Now, if we dig into the detail a little bit and look at average implementation duration of Oracle compared to other solutions, you can see that the average Oracle implementation duration takes 18.5 months, which is a bit higher than Microsoft and Tier 2 solutions, but a bit lower than SAP. And generally, Oracle and SAP are going head-to-head with a lot of the same types of customers. If we look at the median numbers, there's a similar pattern. In fact, an even more of an advantage to Oracle over SAP, which is 17 months versus 19 for SAP. And the median number is actually lower than Microsoft's as well, and a bit higher than the Tier 2 solutions. And if we look at the quartile deviation, what that suggests is there's about an average level of variance in the numbers that we're looking at here with implementation duration. So the message here is that Oracle can be implemented on average in less time than SAP, but in generally it's going to take more time than your Microsoft or Tier 2 solutions. But also keep in mind the caveat here is that Oracle historically has been implemented by larger, more complex organizations, so that is part of what drives up that number a little bit. Now, if we look at average implementation cost, we can see that the average Oracle implementation for total all-in cost, which ranges from software licenses, maintenance, hardware upgrades, internal resources, consultants, etc., all that added up averages $12.5 million. That is quite a bit higher than the average and certainly quite a bit higher than Microsoft Dynamics or Tier 2 solutions, but it is a bit lower, quite a bit lower, about 25% lower than SAP. If we look at the average implementation cost as a percentage of revenue, there's a similar pattern that emerges. It's a bit above average. It's quite a bit higher than Microsoft Dynamics and Tier 2 solutions, but it's considerably lower than SAP. And then if we look at the median number, again, very similar pattern, about half the cost as a median compared to SAP, but a bit higher than Microsoft and Tier 2 solutions. Now, if we look at satisfaction and business benefits, we can compare Oracle to some of the other solutions in the marketplace. We can see that the average benefits factor is a little below average at 58% compared to other solutions, which means that organizations realize 58% of the expected benefits that they had hoped to achieve on average. Where Oracle really shines is in executive satisfaction, and they're at 76% executive satisfaction, which is, for the most part, a statistical dead heat, with being the highest number in the study and considerably above average. And I think that's partly attributed to the kind of the superior business intelligence and reporting and dashboarding that the Oracle EBS solution provides. Now, if we look at employee satisfaction, however, it's a little bit different story. That number is a bit below average at 60.3%. And the hypothesis there that we're actually trying to validate in the current round of the study that we're doing for 2010 is that part of that may be because Oracle has taken more of an acquisition approach to developing some of their ERP modules, which can make it a bit more difficult for end users to learn and get up to speed on. So that may be part of why we're seeing a lower number there, but that's strictly a hypothesis that we're trying to validate in our current study. And then if we look at the satisfaction composite, you can see that basically the average with all the satisfaction metrics is about 62% for Oracle. Now, if we look at business risk, the business risk is actually just a little bit above average for Oracle at 57%. And quite frankly, none of these numbers are flattering at all for any of the vendors, and this is what I would consider an industry-wide problem. But basically what this number suggests is that 57% of Oracle EBS implementations have some type of material operational disruption at the time of go live. So the higher the number here, the worse off it is. So certainly that number is better than Microsoft and Tier 2 solutions, but it's a little bit worse than SAP's results there. So if we were to summarize Oracle EBS and its strengths and weaknesses, which, by the way, every vendor has their strengths and weaknesses, as we found in this study, Oracle does have the number 2 market share, second to SAP. The average implementation duration is below average and highly predictable. That's one thing we didn't mention on the earlier slides, is that the variance is fairly predictable on that implementation duration. And there is above average cost, but considerably lower than SAP. If you were to compare the kind of the two heavy hitters in the ERP industry. They have the lowest level of overall benefits realization. However, they have the highest level of executive satisfaction, a bit lower employee satisfaction.